I just got back from Palm Springs. I was there for a business retreat and I had some amazing aha moments there because I was with all moms and they're all married. And I just found myself time and time again just sharing some stuff that I know and that I think everyone knows. And in fact, one time we were out for dinner, it was like the first night there, and I just kind of got into conversation with someone right across from me. And I started to just get really passionate about what I was talking about. Generally, it's about the male brain because I think it's so misunderstood and it's such a huge problem in marriages, and it really stops people from having like the amazing connection and closeness and all that. I'm going to get to all that, but I just want to finish this story. And so I started having this conversation with somebody, and suddenly the whole table was silent and they were all looking at me with these like big eyes. And at first I thought, oh, I've gotten too excited, I've gotten too passionate. And then later on, the next morning, people were coming up to me and say, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Like, I didn't even know that about my husband. I didn't even know that was possible in my marriage. And so I've been mulling this over a bit, and I had a lot of great feedback. People were saying, like, you need to do a retreat, you need to do group, you need to do something, like, get this message out there because it's not out there. And really what we have right now is therapy. You have a problem marriage, you're headed to divorce, and you make a last ditch effort and you admit failure really, and you go see like a professional. And that model that we are working with in society has got to change. It has to, because our divorce rate is 50%. This model is not working. I think the failure rate of marriage therapy is like 80%. It's abysmal because it's coming at it from the wrong angle. So here is what I'm curious about, and I would love some feedback from you. Just really anything. My ears are open. But this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of creating something very revolutionary, something I've never seen before happen. I want to help couples who are kind of in that average area. Things are okay. You don't have you have the massive screaming fights and stuff, but you're able to function okay. You are able to run a household, you're able to parent, you're able to get by. Divorce isn't on the horizon, but at the same time, you aren't always feeling 100% supported from your spouse. You don't always feel like your spouse needs you or that you're important. You don't feel like you connect. You don't feel like really close friends. You don't feel that warm, fuzzy feeling when you think of them. You aren't texting each other and supporting, giving encouragement even when you don't understand your spouse. You aren't able to get over fights very quickly. I mean, so there's a lot of things that you're okay, you're average, you're getting by, you're not in crisis, but at the same time, you aren't that enthusiastic about things. And here's the thing, most marriages, I would say 90% of marriages that are still together are at that level. So we've got like the crisis level, then we have like the basic functioning, then we've got average, and then we have mastery. That's where you are still, you still are having like opportunities for growth because that's what marriage gives you. This isn't like a romantic happily ever after thing. This is firmly based in reality, and I'm in that place right now. And so I want to take couples who are really in the average area and show them and support them and help them see and have this like little club that you can be a part of that is really revolutionary, that's in the top 10% of marriages. That I asked in my Facebook group, and I asked my friends, like, who do you look up to? What kind of marriages are you excited about? And who are you aspiring to? And not one person, not one, has been able to tell me of a marriage that they are excited about, that they want to be a part of. There is some vague notion. Sometimes people say, like, I see older couples holding hands and they just feel so relaxed and at peace with one another. But that's kind of like something vague, some sort of idea of something that might be there. So this group that I'm envisioning would be creating those types of marriages that our children can look up to, that our people in our communities can really aspire to. And again, this is not some sort of, when you ask some people about their marriage, oh, everything's good, we're fine. Yeah. No, that's not real maturity, that's not real success. Real success is where you can say, like, openly, without any sort of shame, that the fact is that you're two individuals in a relationship, and that's kind of the reality. The reality is that you bump up into stuff, and you don't never know what's going to happen in your future. But a successful couple, a couple that is mastered marriage, so to speak, is able to ride those bumps with quite relative ease and peace. Where you're able to come out of a fight in like 5 seconds or less. You feel like you have a cheerleader that someone has your back 100% of the time, even when you might have a hard day, or you might feel a little depressed, or there might be some anxiety or work stress going on. So when you have this kind of marriage, everything in your life becomes that much more easy to be successful. Your work becomes easier, your like dreams, your goals, your hobbies, your relationships with other people, your financial future, everything becomes so much more, like so much easier and so much better when you know that you have a firm grounding in your marriage, in your relationship. This is so beyond putting out fires. This is so much about becoming, like, if you're an athlete and you want to really hone in that skill and become really good, you get a coach, you get support, you learn, you get training, and you do some hard work. Yes, you do. But is it worth it? Hell yes, it's worth it. And the reason why people get so stuck in average and so stuck in mediocre is, again, they don't know that there's anything better. There is something better. There is something way better. And if you would have told me this like 5 years ago, maybe I wouldn't have questioned you, but now I know that there is something amazing. Just this morning, I was struggling with, not getting enough time to work on my business, and really just like, struggling with being a stay-at-home mom, and all those feelings of resentment and anger towards my husband. We were able to work through it. He was able to say, like, I feel like my hands are tied too, and I want to support you, but I feel like I can't do anything, which in the past would have led to argument, because he would have felt like, I want to make my wife happy, my wife's not happy, and so he would have gotten really defensive. But we were able to sit there in that place of just not knowing and feeling a little bit stuck together. We were a team. That's just a little tiny taste of what it could be like all the time for you. So here is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of a year-long group program. This isn't for the faint of heart. This is for people who are in average, who want to get to like the top 10% of marriages. And you would get one-on-one support from me. You would get training just like you would get training in any other thing you want to excel at. We would talk about the real big, meaty areas of life: money, sex, housework, in-laws, parenting, friendship. How do you have fun together? And while we work on those areas of life that are very real and not theoretical at all, because I hate theoretical, we would be looking at tools and skills that you just don't have. It's not your fault. It's just a fact. It's not your fault. Exactly. It's just a reality. So we would be looking at communication and not dry and boring stuff, but like really juicy, specific stuff that I would be able to tell you about men and women and how we work and how we function, and how this is really like it's just like nothing else. Is about learning the machine, which is marriage, and the machine has two parts, and we need to learn about our brains. So we would have group sessions, like you would be able to hear from other real couples in about the same area as you, how they're working through stuff, how they're learning, what's changed. You'll get some real practical stuff that you don't get anywhere else. Where else will you get this practical information? Nowhere else. You would have training every month. You would have one-on-one support from me, and it would be the year of your marriage, the year that you spend some investment in energy and time and money on your marriage, so the rest of your life you do not have to go through those patterns that you find yourself in, that all couples have, again and again. You'll be able to break free of those patterns, feel completely supported, feel like you're on a team, feel like you have got everything necessary to move forward, to create that kind of marriage that your grandchildren and your great grandchildren will be able to aspire to, and will be able to emulate. You'll be able to pass on that wisdom that you want to your children. So please let me know if this is something that you're interested in. I only want to create it if I can find these kind of couples who want to be revolutionary. So I would love to just hear from you. If you just want to email me, that's fine. But the best thing we could do is just get on the phone with each other. Just have a chat. Again, I haven't really fleshed out everything. I haven't fleshed out the price yet, but I know that if it's not now, it's in the future. And I would love for you to be in the first group, the one that be able to shape the future of this really revolutionary process. And I will be along with the journey with you. I'm not some sort of expert that's high and mighty in my chair and like, oh, I'm so great. Look at my marriage. I never fight. My husband and I would be with you. We would be on those group calls. We would be sharing what we're going through. We would be real with you. So the best thing would be to hop on a call. If you're not sure if your husband would be into this, that's usually like the biggest barrier. Get on a call with me and I will help you figure out the language in order to talk to him. I will give you some just free advice about the male brain and really specifically what kind of language you could use to inspire him, to challenge him, because that's what men love. They love a challenge. And this is perfect for that because it's not putting out fires. It's not obsessing over the past or problems. It's really how do you become a successful couple and master marriage. I would love to hear from you. Email me, Janna Denton-Howes, or I'll also put a link in there so you can just book a one-on-one call with me and we can get this sorted out because I am pumped and this is a group that I've always wanted to be a part of, but it just doesn't exist out there. I can't wait to talk to you. I can't wait to see how this might work for you and listen and learn from your perspective, and I'll chat with you soon.